What is up, guys? Welcome back. Badger Man here. Welcome back to the Chicago Bears franchise here in episode 39. This episode is the season recap and awards episode. Basically, I'll go over player stats, league leaders, all the awards, like MVP, Coach of the Year, all that stuff, Rookie of the Year, Pro Bowls, and then we'll look through I'll look through the playoffs, see how everyone did. Basically, everything you do leading up to the off season. So yeah, we'll get right into that. Just a quick reminder. Obviously, you probably know from last episode, we missed the playoffs. Finished season 8-8. Had a decent year, a lot better year in terms of most stuff, but just came up short. All right. So Jay Cutler, 3,591 yards, 30 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. A lot better year than he had last year, but then interceptions were in big spots, too many turnovers. I don't know what we're going to do with him. Right now, the plan is probably move on without him, but we'll look and see what happens if we get, in free agency, if we can find a quarterback or in the draft. Obviously, we're not going to get rid of him until we know we have a replacement. Langford, however, went off 405 carries. Again, he had more carries than I would have liked him to have. Hopefully we can find a way to cut down on that next year. But he did go over 1,488 yards and only 2 rushing touchdowns, though. So we got to find a way to get that up. Not worried about the yards going down because 1,400 still led the NFL, I believe. Receptions, he led the team with 103, and he went over 1,000 yards receiving. So he had 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 receiving, so over 2,000 all-purpose yards, 1 receiving touchdown, 3 total touchdowns. I don't know. I think he's got to be in the discussion for MVP. Miller, 67 receptions, 476 yards and a touchdown. He missed like 8 games with an injury, though. So, yeah, looking at receiving yards now, though, Kevin White led the team with 1,085. Jeremy Langford, 1,026, like I said. Gordon had 552, only 26 catches. Miller, 476. Kari Lee, who played for Miller, with 340 yards. Eddie Rolla, 262 yards on 31 catches. So, not too bad there. Obviously, we spread the ball around a lot more this year than we did last year. Definitely losing Alshon Jeffrey for the season in week 1 definitely hurt this team. As we signed Gordon to kind of be the third, good receivers. We could kind of have a 3-headed monster in terms of receiving. But unfortunately, that didn't work to our advantage. As Gordon was relegated more to an outside receiver, and to be honest, he had quite a problem catching passes. He was just dropped a lot of passes, and just never really gelled with us. Hopefully he can do better next year. But yeah, like I said, Jeffrey had the 2 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown, and his season was done rather quickly. Kevin White, by the way, led the team with 13 receiving touchdowns. Josh Gordon was second with 8. Quinton Spain gave up the most sacks, 10 sacks on the season. Not horrible, but definitely need to clean that up. Offensive line still needs a lot of work. We'll obviously be looking to address that through free agency and the draft. Defense now, rookie Xavier Holloway led the way with 99 tackles. That's good and bad. You never want your 2 safeties to lead the team in tackles, but they did. Danny Trevathan, 91. Jarrell Freeman had 88 tackles. Pernell McPhee was 73. Shepard was right there in 6th. Moving over to the sacks department, Pernell McPhee led the way with 14 sacks. Leonard Floyd had 10. Akeem Hicks, 8.5. So down from his, I think it was 19 he had last year. Jonathan Bullard only 8, down from his 17 his rookie year. So a little bit of regression there. Some to be expected, but that's a little more than I thought it would be. Eddie Goldman had 6.5 sacks. Freeman and Mitch Unrein with 4 apiece. Interceptions, rookie Gregory Calvin led the way. He's our 3rd round pick, led the way with 4. Adrian Amos had 3. Danny Trevathan had 2. Both of his coming the last 2 weeks of the season. And then Freeman, Holloway, Fuller, all had 1 interception. So not many picks for Holloway. But he definitely was our best secondary player all year, without a doubt. So definitely worth that 2nd round pick. I think he was a steal with that 2nd round pick. Forced fumbles. McPhee had 3. Holloway had 2. Floyd had 2, and a bunch of people had 1. Not too important. Nobody had any defensive touchdowns, I don't think. Yeah, we didn't return any touchdowns this year. And for some reason, I went to look at the kicking stats, and they're all in the zeros for kicking. But punting, Pat O'Donnell, net average of 34.9. He had 3 of them blocked, which we got to cut down on that. But he did have 10 touchbacks, 21 inside the 20. So pretty good punter. Special team wise, not a whole lot going on. Eddie Royal did have 1,100 return yards in the kick return game, and he had an additional 655 in punt return. We didn't return any for scores like we did last year. So now looking at the NFL stats, Blake Bortles led the way with 4,977 yards. Drew Brees 4,754. Rodgers was 3rd with 4,669. Touchdown passes. Dalton had 44, led the way, 39 for Rodgers. Rivers and Matt Ryan were tied, with also Goff and Manning with 31. And Jay Cutler, what do you know, was tied for 4th with 30. Bortles led the way with 21 interceptions, though. So 29 touchdowns, 21 picks. On to the rushing stats. Langford obviously led the way in carries. Never too good to see that. Like I said, we'll try to cut that down next year. But he did lead the way in rushing yards, 1,488. McCoy was 1,469. Charles was 1,409. That was the top 3 there. Rushing touchdowns, Jeremy Hill had 15 of them. Rushing touchdowns, TJ Yeldon with 14, and Ingram as well with 14. Gio Bernard led the way, averaging 98 yards a game. On to receptions, Allen Hurns led the NFL with 108 receptions. Hopkins 103, tied with Langford for 2nd. Langford was 2nd in receptions. We got to spread the ball more instead of checking down to him. We got to figure out a way to fix that. AJ Green led the way with 1,533 receiving yards. Hopkins 1,528. Antonio Brown 1,442. Yes. Again, I apologize. I'm on a smaller screen than I'm used to, so I'm kind of having a hard time reading these. AJ Green 16 receiving touchdowns. Kevin White was 2nd in the NFL with 13. Sterling Shepard 3rd with 12. Deion Buchanan and Denzel Perryman led the way with 151 tackles, respectively. Ryan Shazier 145. Bobby Wagner 144. Navarro Bowman 142. Quarterback sacks. Watt had 18.5. Joey Bosa had 18 in his 2nd year. Donald 17.5. Mike Daniels and Michael Bennett was 17. Interceptions, Patrick Peterson and Kiko Alonso led the way with 7 apiece. On to forced fumbles, Alden Smith with 5. Paul Posluszny, DJ Swearinger, and rookie Earl Nesbitt and Brandon Graham had 4 apiece. Pat P led the NFL with 2 defensive touchdowns. Had to refuel with some Mountain Dew there. Andy Dalton got the NFL MVP. No surprise there. His Bengals went 14-1-1. They whooped on us early in the season. 42-3. A lot of Bengals here in leading categories I noticed when we went through the league leaders, so I'm sure they got a lot of awards coming. There was a rookie there, Jeffrey Sawyer, quarterback, finishing 9th in the MVP race. Coach of the Year, no surprise, goes to Marvin Lewis. We were not on that list at all. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Andy Dalton. Defensive Player of the Year, Joey Bosa. So he got Rookie of the Year last year. Defensive Player of the Year this year. Obviously, no surprise, Jeffrey Sawyer wins AFC Rookie, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Samuel Ledford. We just played the Browns. I don't remember seeing him, but he led his 5-11 Browns to all and was rewarded with the Defensive Rookie of the Year. AFC's best quarterback, Andy Dalton. Best running back, Le'Veon Bell. Best wide receiver, A.J. Green. No surprise there. Best offensive lineman, Kevin Zeitler. They had Bolin as well on the list for the Bengals. Best defensive lineman, Joey Bosa. One Defensive Player of the Year. Best linebacker, Melvin Ingram. Best defensive back, Terrell Revis in the AFC. There's 8-8 Jets. Best kicker was Jason Myers. On to the NFC, which is where our players will be. Offensive Player of the Year, Aaron Rodgers. Jeremy Langford finished 5th. I thought he should have won that with all them 2,000 all-purpose yards. Defensive Player of the Year, Deone Buchanan. Did we have anybody? Nobody on the list for us. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Everett Pettigout. I believe he's the quarterback. We didn't have any on the offensive side of the ball. We went defense anyway. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Earl Nesbitt. Come on, you got to give that to Holloway. I don't even know if he finished 9th. Holloway got 9th. Earl Nesbitt, though, got Defensive Rookie of the Year. Best quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Jay Cutler finished 5th. That's not bad. Best running back goes to Mark Ingram. How does Jeremy Langford not get it over Ingram? He led the NFL in rushing yards, carries, receiving yards from running back. Jeez Louise. Best wide receiver does go to Kevin White, however. He had a monster year. So we got one award. Tyron Smith, best offensive lineman. I'm sure we don't have anybody. Of course not. Aaron Donald, best defensive lineman. I don't think we'll have anyone in this one either. Nope. Boy, Akeem Hicks really let us down. Best linebacker, Deone Buchanan. Pernell McPhee finished 9th. Trevathan wasn't in there at all. That's surprising. Best defensive back, Patrick Peterson. Not surprising. No Bears in that. Well, we had a young secondary. Maybe next year. Chandler Catanzaro, best kicker. And we weren't in there. Jared Houston missed a lot. On to the Pro Bowl. As I'll kind of just say names as we go through. Drew Brees. Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan. Jeremy Langford made it, so we had one. Ingram, Charles, Lacey Miller, Tolbert Coleman, Cobb Green, Hopkins, Britt, Patrick Pierce Corp, the rookie, Fleener, Eifert, Olsen, Rivera, Reed, Thomas, Smith, Matthews. We're not going to have anyone on the line, I don't think. So far, just the one, just Langford. How did Kevin White not make it? Or did I miss him? I don't think he made it. That's crazy. How does Pernell McPhee, we got 2 there. How did Pernell McPhee not make it? Or, I'm sorry, Kevin White not make it? That's ridiculous. Oh well. Yeah, not seeing any more Bears here. Well, Eddie Royal, kick returner. So we had 3 Pro Bowlers, if you count the kick returner. Okay, so on to The Steelers beat the Texans in the first round of the wild card. New Orleans sent the Packers home. Good. We hate the Packers. They're our rival. Jets beat up on the Chargers 29-6. And the LA Rams take out the Dallas Cowboys 34-20 in the wild card round. Moving to the divisional round, the Bengals knocked out the Steelers 38-24. And then the Cardinals beat the Saints 33-18. That's a weird score. Jets in taking out the Chiefs 24-10. Jets were 8-8 too, so they're going to the AFC title game at 8-8. Rams destroyed the Panthers. Jets will lose to the 14-1-1 Bengals 28-25. And the Cardinals will squeak out one over the Rams 31-24. So we'll have a Cardinals and Bengals Super Bowl. And the Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals, win the Super Bowl. 35-20 is the score. So if you remember last year, the Patriots beat the Packers in the 2016 season. 2017 season, Bengals beat the Cardinals. So we'll remember that for when we go further in to the franchise. We can kind of remember who won the Super Bowls and stuff. Neat stuff, fun facts like that. Yeah, so that's going to conclude all the awards and statistics and standings and all that stuff. Basically, just real quick, tell you the plan for the rest of the off season. Basically, what I did is I recorded live commentary as I did the off seasons, and so I think I'm going to break them down into 2 videos, probably one being free agency, and then I'll do another video with the draft, and then we'll do kind of like a playoff preview, or preseason preview, kind of offensive preview, defensive preview. I do one for each, and basically I'll show plays from the preseason and kind of talk about our roster and break down, who's going to be starting where, any cuts, all that stuff that we did. So yeah, so look for that. The next video, probably posting tomorrow, should be the free agent video, and then the draft video follow that, and then the preseason video after that, and then we'll kick off season 3. So with that said, guys, that'll wrap things up for today's video. Do me a favor, guys, if you did go on to enjoy this video, please leave a like below. Subscribe if you haven't already for more Bears franchise, as well as all our other great series. And remember, the Cincinnati Reds franchise for MLB The Show, it's going to be starting up this weekend. Official sport or Operation Sports Full Minor rosters are going live tomorrow. This is Friday. They'll be up Saturday. First video for that should be up either Saturday night or Sunday, depending on what time the rosters go live for download in the roster vault. But yeah, with that said, guys, that's going to do it for this video. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time, peace.